Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 77 of Dual Destinies. Last time, we proved that the Phantom could have killed Clay, as well as the fact that the Phantom is actually Bobby Fulbright. He was Bobby Fulbright the entire time. We were tricked, we were duped, and with that said, let's go. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss! Apollo? Well, this is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust— Ouch! Don't be such a dope. I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt, so that once the truth is finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how can I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? And then meanwhile, Phoenix, thankfully I can't say the same. Take that! Boom! Oh! Just Phoenix decks Apollo and just sends him flying across the room. That is for betraying me, Apollo. And that's for punching me during Turnout Trump. You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself, and they're not afraid to keep me in line. And then Athena, oh, I may not be able to punch Apollo, but this asshole, I'm more than happy to. And then Athena just punches Edgeworth. No, better yet. Basically, Athena just kicks Edgeworth in the shin. She pulls a K and just kicks Edgeworth right in the shin. No! That's for the first-degree murder charge, you asshole. Anyways, I have some very good news. Aura Blackwell surrendered and the hostages have been set free. And best yet, I pulled some strings, and I think that we can get away with prosecuting for first-degree murder. Now, it may be a stretch, but darn it, I will get my first-degree murder charge one way or another. I've got the bloodthirst right, and only convicting someone of first-degree murder can satiate it. Choosing the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. And then little does Edgeworth know that Aura's just rampaging down the street with Judge Tron, just smashing up buildings. Edgeworth's car gets smashed in the parking lot. My God! I wonder what it is. Yeah, sorry about your car, Chief Prosecutor. It was in the way of Judge Tron's giant spiked ball. Miss Blackwell? I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura? She'd better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots still. I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. And then meanwhile, this Edgeworth isn't even apologizing to Athena for cranking her case up to first-degree murder. Seriously, the fact that Edgeworth could have that basically it would have been more justifiable, it would have been more plausible for Athena getting charged with second degree, basically. That I can understand, basically. The fact that Athena, she was this distraught 11-year-old kid. She wanted the pain to stop. So she killed her mother in the heat of the moment. I can see that argument being passed. But then meanwhile, Edgeworth just cranking it right up to first degree. And the thing is, Aura wasn't even pushing for the first degree. All Aura wanted was basically for Athena, for basically Simon to be proven innocent, and that Athena, who did seem to be a likely culprit, was just proven to be the murderer, you know? Aura said nothing about first degree charges. That was all Edgeworth, that was Edgeworth running wild. Yeah, frankly, I don't think Aura would have cared either way if Athena was just arrested for second degree. Heck, and for that matter, Edgeworth was more ruthless than Franziska ever was. Because basically, even when Franziska was at her most determined to take Phoenix down, basically where she first met her first trial against him in Reunion Turnabout, basically. Even then, basically, when Franziska was just at the start of her revenge arc, she didn't know who she was up against. She saw Phoenix as this lesser defense attorney, basically. She was willing to basically let him, she was actually encouraging him to plead for basically justified self-defense. She was willing to accept that offer. So basically, just Edgeworth, basically Apollo regresses into his Kristoff teachings, Edgeworth regresses into full Manfred von Karma, because that is definitely a Manfred von Karma move, where basically it's first degree or it's nothing. Second degree murder is a second class case. Oh, Miss Aura, does that mean you're starting to trust the system again? No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Leave it to us, we'll get him! So I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least? Aura! Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far, though you always were extreme. I remember that one time, Mother decided to buy you the Star Wars Christmas special as a Christmas gift. You proceeded to screech at a frequency that only dolphins could interpret, and then you smashed our front window with the box set. But I don't recall ever requesting your help. As closed as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the Slammer. Yeah, just Aura taking up the mantle of just ruling the yard. Yeah, Aura rules over all 5 female prisoners. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. But what can I say? I've had a very good mentor. And then just Simon look over at Edgeworth, just nodding this knowing nod. That's right, I'm following with your teachers, Edgeworth-sama. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura! Alright, that's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. What Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable, but it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe you killed Clay! He made my life worse! Damn it! Now who do I have? Who do I have as a friend now? You've got me, Apollo. I met someone I actually enjoy being around! Right, and murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor. Yes?
I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand.
That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. Not to yes, the position of where I'd actually lose the case. Yeah, basically, I could easily imagine Edgeworth taking the loss in regards to in the case of Athena's mother murder. Basically, he would take just the Metis case. He would say, that didn't count, it was unofficial.
Sir!
The formal paperwork has yet to be filled, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity, and uncover the truth by your own hand.
I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you?
Yeah, and then Edgeworth's look, the lock jams. Ow, this is awkward. You mind having those on for a little bit more, Blackwell? Apparently the lock's jammed. I'm gonna need to call a locksmith.
How long have I waited? Maybe it's the sense of freedom, but even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy.
I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we've still got a trial to finish. It's okay to cry, Athena. I promise.
Prosecutor Blackwell! Mr. Wright! Please avenge Clay's death for me!
What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me.
I am!
Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. Yeah, I just love how basically the one time Apollo is taken into the defense's bench alongside Phoenix, it's basically when Athena's just unavailable by all technicalities.
But are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything.
Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Plus, Apollo, I've got another punishment in mind. I got a punishment in mind that will more than make up for it.
What do you mean?
And then basically, instead of taking Apollo somewhere to eat like El Dunes, basically, just Apollo finds himself in Trebian. Eat your meal, Apollo.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Apollo.
Athena, I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence, and now we're gonna prove it to the world.
Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Right, because I'm fine now.
Yeah, the fact that they actually fixed the cutscene here, because basically, some context, in the original version of this game, the sound editing on that cutscene was very off, where the music was basically just completely overshadowing the characters' voices. So basically, you'd have this cutscene where Apollo is essentially coming to full form, his faith has been restored, and this is a big point for Apollo in this game. And then just the music is just drowning it out. Just the cherry on top of the sundae that is Apollo being abused by the universe. Now this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. You're no longer an edgelord. It's almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand. Yep. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things, namely, cutting Gumshoe's pay. I am not going to let him forget the fact that he has besmirched my office. He's besmirched my good name during that trial by having some detective some spy pretend to be a detective and just messing with these cases. If I had an actual detective working this, we could have actually convicted the Orca. The Orca could get convicted of first-degree murder. The first people on the scene 7 years ago. The facial data registered by the robot. And Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory right now, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, little does Phoenix know that I expect to be repaid with a victory. That was going to Simon. Okay, you two all set to go?
You bet I am!
Let's do this! This is it, the final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend. The courtroom bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. December 20th, 5:27 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 4.
Let us now reconvene.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has never been more ready.
You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense's bench together since I debuted. And now the war flashbacks are kicking in, Mr. Wright.
Now that you mention it, although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable.
And I thought you were an actual decent human being, Mr. Wright, who used legitimate evidence.
You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot.
Well, there has been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well.
You still got that ego of his, though. Yes! God forbid Apollo has a shred of self-esteem. Seriously, just... Yeah, seriously. Apollo saying, I guess I've done pretty well, is an ego, apparently.
Prosecutor Blackwell, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, I guess we can keep this chit-chat for later. But bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Even with those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same.
7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away so easily, I guess.
I seen things in that prison, right, Dono? Horrible, dreadful things that can't be mentioned in this courtroom.
Ha ha ha! Bobby Fulbright's here! I heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am!
Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony?
Yep, because there is only one reason why I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice! In justice we trust!
Objection!
You can't fool us with that act anymore! Your justice is nothing but lies! What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey!
He's acting exactly the same as always.
Tell me about it. He must be feeling awfully confident.
Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, then let's get to your testimony.
Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? Well, I can certainly do that. The embodiment of justice. Ha ha ha! I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I won't have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena Sykes is the culprit. This lighter with her prints on it.
So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false, and that the defendant is the real culprit?
That's right! Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial.
He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto the ladder.
We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either.
No, I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyways? Justice. It just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. I will throw the book at you. Don't think I won't. Nah, please don't throw the book at me. Yeah, too late, Fulbright. I already made that joke. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try to not lose focus, all right? But my justice is still clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice.
Silence!
Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it.
Prosecutor Blackwell. Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all.
We prosecuted an orc. We went against an orca together. Did that not mean anything to you?
Prosecutor Blackwell's right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Ha ha ha! Now, ask away and don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. The embodiment of justice. Okay, this is technically the last true cross-examination in the game. Because the next one that we have afterwards is the Mood Matrix one.
Hold it!
So let's savor this moment, shall we? The embodiment of justice. Those are just empty words. But they say if you keep saying something, it can eventually become true. Isn't that how people make their dreams come true too? By wishing over and over? Alright. Let's just move on.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's careful reasoning behind my theory. Well, yes, apparently there's reasoning behind even a tofu burger. But what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called the lighter, with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it in the victim's blood. Yes, that's true. But wait. Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to the trial.
If you harbor any suspicions, I suggest you ask Fulbright, right, Dono? Especially about that lighter.
He's right, but what exactly should I ask about? So how many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of a right hand. Your Honor, that is an important statement. Could we please have it added to the testimony? You've got it. He beat me to it. Ha ha ha! Be it investigating or testifying, speed is the key. Okay.
Hold it!
And please, tell us more about the circumstances surrounding the ladder. Well, I'd much rather expound on the topic of justice, but all right. Let's see, what should I ask about? Please tell the court what you remember about Miss Blackwell at the time. She appeared to be really angry that the bombing commotion was disturbing her work. She punched me in the throat. She even threw a robot at me. Yeah, how much you want to bet that robot was Clonko? Help, help, no, Miss Aura put me down. Yikes, I hope it wasn't poor Clonko. You know it was poor Clonko. Clonko gets tossed out the window. Why don't you let me decide that?
Hold it!
I'm beginning to wonder, is Miss Blackwell ever not crabby? Well, they already took her down to the station, so it's a bit late to ask her now.
Just my opinion, but maybe it's best we don't ask her about that, ever!
And then basically, and then Simon chimes in.
Allow me to answer your question right, Dono. Yes.
Let's proceed with your testimony, shall we? Ha ha ha! Certainly!
The statement that was added, I'm not sure if it's relevant or not.
Well, at least he seems willing to answer our questions. Let's keep asking about different things and see if we can uncover an inconsistency. Basically, it was the handprint one. That's what we need to use. Detective Fulbright is a tougher adversary than I thought.
Hold it!
You mean the lighter that was found in the Space Museum? Is that right? The one and only! After Miss Sykes murdered Mr. Turan, she escaped into the Space Museum. That's when she probably dropped the lighter. Then, after the launch pads were switched, she ran out of the Space Museum, where her image was caught by the security camera. Without evidence, I should probably save this fight for another time. Okay.
Hold it!
Press that. The final press. So 3 prints from a right hand were found on the lighter, huh? Are you certain of this? I'd stake my life on it.
Mr. Wright, isn't it odd he's saying the prints are from Athena's right hand?
Why would you say that?
Well, think about it for a sec. Athena always wears that glove on her right hand, right? So there's no way she'd leave prints off those 3 fingers from her right hand.
Hey, great point. Why didn't I catch that one? Detective Fulbright, I'm sure you heard our discussion just now about how Miss Sykes always wears a glove on her right hand. Ha ha ha! Well, I have only one thing to say to that. Do you have evidence that she was wearing that glove at the time of the incident? I guess we don't. If you want to prove the defendant's innocence, you'll have to ask better questions than that. Like I need a lecture from you, Smiles McGoo. Should I try asking about something else? Okay. Present. Okay. Or a statement.
Objection!
You say the prints were from a right hand, is that correct? Well, we'll answer that question in the next episode, because I think that now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. But I'll see you next time. Bye.